Douglas and his wife Amber have been married for 12 years, and their relationship's seen its share of ups and downs. But right after their wedding, Douglas found a flirty message from Amber's ex-boyfriend. While he thought they could move past this, it turns out this was just the start of the drama their relationship would experience, leaving both Douglas and Amber with muddied hands. So, this guy, Douglas, has been married to his wife Amber for 12 years, and like all relationships, they had their ups and downs. However, the first weekend after they got married, something weird happened when Amber ran into a store to get something, leaving her phone in the car. While she was gone, a message came through, and it was from a guy that Douglas didn't recognize, and the message said, "You're so sexy." I can only imagine how much his head must have been spinning at that point. I mean, he just got married to this woman, so her stepping out on him already was probably the furthest thing from his mind. In any case, when Amber got back to the car, he asked her what it was about, but she acted like she had no idea. Later on, after asking her more questions, Amber finally confessed to Douglas that it was an ex-boyfriend, after which she showed him their whole conversation. Through their chat, there was no mention of her getting married, but she'd asked him questions like,
"Why do you miss me? What would happen if you were here with me right now?"
Needless to say, Douglas blew a gasket over this, but he soon forgave her and tried to move on.
Wait, just like that? Didn't he think it was a big deal? It looked like she was flirting with the guy, and that's me being nice about it.
Yeah, I know. But if there's one thing that's pretty common in these Reddit cheating stories, it's how people are super quick to brush things under the rug, things that usually come back to bite them in the ass later on. Anyway, fast forward 2 years, and it happened again with a different guy, someone that Amber was working with. The way she got caught this time was because she fell asleep with her phone on her chest, and when Douglas went to put it on the nightstand, he saw a message that said, "Wear a skirt tomorrow." And it was from her male coworker, Brad. Once again though, Amber denied everything at first, saying to Douglas that it wasn't anything to worry about. Still, she couldn't stop apologizing to Douglas about the text, saying it wouldn't happen again, and that she'd be quitting soon. This may have been too little too late though, because this time around, Douglas was feeling lost, so confided in a female friend.
You don't even have to tell me what happened next. I think we all know.
Yeah, these sorts of things run like clockwork, so it's never really surprising. Anyway, Douglas ended up sleeping with this friend, and it was a lie he kept up for 6 months, but everything came out when a text message was found on his phone. Now, Douglas knew that he was in the wrong, despite what Amber had done in the past, and ever since he cheated on her with his friend, he spent years begging for forgiveness, trying to do any and everything to make Amber happy. They even moved and had a house built so they could start over. It's very rare for a relationship to be the same once someone has cheated, because how you trust each other is just different now. For Douglas and Amber, as the years went by, he caught her multiple times talking with other guys. She'd even sent them nudes, and every time she got caught, she'd deny that anything physical happened, which is something she held over Douglas's head. One day, they were having an argument, and she said,
"You're the one who physically cheated, so I haven't done anything as bad as that."
Now me, personally, I don't think I'm quite buying what Amber was trying to sell to Douglas, especially when it came to whatever was going on with her coworker, Brad. Being so sexual with someone you work with makes it very easy for things to happen, mostly because there's just so much opportunity for things to go down. In any case, Douglas thought that what he did was so much worse than Amber's transgressions, but constantly catching her chatting with these other guys was killing him. Douglas loved the family they made, but was left with a bitter taste in his mouth. You see, while he feels very remorseful about what he did, Amber doesn't seem to give a damn. The last time he caught her messaging with someone, it was her ex-boyfriend, and he caught them because they went out for dinner, and as they were walking to the restaurant with the kids, she was texting like crazy, at which point Douglas had no choice but to stop and ask her,
"What are you doing?
Nothing.
Who are you talking to?"
It's just a friend. There's nothing to worry about.
Really? Show me your phone then.
No.
Even though everyone deserves privacy in their relationship, it's always a little odd when someone is adamant on not showing their partner what's on their phone, especially if they have a legitimate concern.
Yeah, and under the circumstances, it definitely makes it seem like she was hiding something from Douglas. Douglas had no intention of letting this slide though, so when they got home, he brought it up again and pleaded with Amber to let him see what was on her phone if she had nothing to hide. Surprisingly, she agreed this time and quickly opened her phone and scrolled through her chat with her ex-boyfriend. And once she got to the end, she was like, "See, there's nothing to worry about." Douglas wasn't about to be fooled by that though, so he took Amber's phone and looked through the messages himself. What he found was that Amber and her ex had been messaging each other for about 6 months, and the conversations were always about how much he misses her, how he wishes she was closer, how she wishes he was closer, and of course, talking about the sex they had in the past. When Douglas showed her this part of the message, her response was, "It's nothing to worry about, we were just talking." But in other messages, Amber's ex was asking for nudes, and her response would be something like, "I'll get you one shortly." Now, while Amber sent nudes to other guys in the past, it doesn't seem like she sent any to her ex. Outside of all this though, something that bothered Douglas was the fact Amber never opened up to him about anything. She was always super quiet, but with the guys she was messaging, she was very, very open.
So, what happened with the ex and the texting? Did he finally kick her to the curb?
Well, they had a fight about it, and Amber agreed to stop chatting with him. And while Douglas wasn't quite sold, he went along with it. And just 1 month later, Amber had got herself a burner phone.
This is ridiculous. Forget Douglas. Why does Amber even want to be in this marriage? It seems like she has no interest in staying loyal to her man.
Beats me. Some people love having this sort of drama in their lives, but it seemed like Douglas finally had enough. He was super pissed and kicked her out, which of course led to Amber going on another one of her apology tours. Things are so toxic between these two that their kids became aware of what's going on, and 2 of them even told Douglas to get a divorce. Douglas though, well, he still feels guilty for what he did, so the story ends with them both going to therapy. Rather than doing the whole cheating back thing, if it were me, I would have just exited the marriage. I know it's easier said than done, but sometimes the easier way isn't the best way. And if you ask me, this doesn't look like the sort of relationship that can be fixed. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video on coffee and popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.